Good evening. I'm at the van. You can't make anything out. It's the light meter on this doesn't adapt very well to the conditions around it. I thought I won't be posting this until I get back, which will probably be tomorrow. Today's Sunday. Because I've used up nearly all of my data, so I can't post this video until I get home and with the Wi-Fi. And no, that's not a really fucked up looking cup of tea. It's vodka, orange and tonic water out of a mug, because I'm all posh in that. So yeah, I arrived at the van. You see, if anyone said, right, can you set up a solar system for me? Because I've got no idea. I'd be straight in there. I'd be able to do it on a budget, you know. When we first got this caravan, I'll cover loads of subjects. And if it cuts out and I end up having to do a part two, because my phone just does that. It's not me doing that. It's just my phone does that. It stops recording and then starts recording again after a certain length of time. And I can't figure out how to how to make the phone stop doing that. You know, I've looked into all the settings and yeah. So it was probably about nine years ago now, almost to the day, or within a month or so, of getting this caravan, this same caravan. And because it's not connected to a main supply, it's just parked up in a corner of a field under a tree. That's it. You've obviously got gas bottles connected up to it for your heating, which thankfully still works. It's been replaced a few times. It's a bit like Trigger's broom. But it's an essential piece of kit in a caravan, you know, in a very remote place like Edale, where temperatures get extreme, you know, apart from in the summer. It just gets really fucking cold, but just nice and warm in the summer, you know, just nice and warm, not hot. You know, I've had a few days here over that 9 years where I thought, oh, this is nice. And me, Sal, and Sky, who was the dog we had at the time, another border terrier, we'd do a river walk, you know. When it was really hot, we'd do a river walk. That's not walking alongside a river. That's going into the river, you know, with some trainers on or something to protect your feet, to make it a bit more comfortable. And just wade down the river Noe. And yeah, beautiful, total and complete contact with nature. And so you're keeping cool and recharging your batteries at the same time, you know. Amazing memories in this place. Amazing. And yeah, I don't come out here often enough, and I should. Because it's not until I get here that I realise how beneficial it is to me, you know. So I think I might have put this in one of the comments, because I love analogies. I love them. And so you imagine that I'm an EV and Luna, which is the caravan, is a charging station. And it's the only one that's really efficient. So yeah, coming out here, it makes all the difference, and I sleep so well. I sleep so well. It's unbelievable, proper. And that's another thing. So statistically, in our little tribe, there's going to be a bare minimum of probably the same amount of people I could count on both hands that are really struggling right now. And although stress does it can and does and will build you up, it will. But there are a few things that you can do to sort of help that along the way, to make everything easier, and it will 100%, 100% guarantee. Just these two steps. And one, which is probably the most important, is proper, decent, quality REM sleep. Because the amount of repair, your body jumps into a different mode when you're asleep. You go into repair mode, and it almost resets everything ready for the next day. It's obviously a lot more technical than that. Well, that's just it in a nutshell. That's it. So good quality sleep, preferably not aided by alcohol or prescription medication. But I'm not a doctor. Do what you think is good for you and works for you, So that's one. That's the one. That's the main one. It's unbelievable. You can have the most fucked up of days, where you've just been so layered. And anyone that's been with me for a while will know what I mean by layered. You get out of bed in the morning, you stub your toe, you slip down the bottom of the 2 steps at the bottom of the staircase. You slip in dog piss that you didn't realise was there, land on your arse, get up. This is all the way to the kettle, and then you start the kettle to make a brew. You lean over, and the steam scalds your wrist, and your whole day builds up of all of these little tiny events that, on their own, wouldn't bother you, but as a collective, you get layered. So at the end of that day, it can take one little thing to just make you fucking snap. So yeah, try and avoid that. Just be aware of it, of how it's getting you, and just take some time out mentally somehow. So sleep. I mean, I'm not in a tent. Well, this is my favourite mug here because Sal bought me that for one of my birthdays, and I like a big mug as well, and it's multi-purpose. It takes tea, coffee, lattes, herbal teas, and vodka. You don't get much more multi-purpose than that. So yeah, the other thing is exercise, because it's a natural antidepressant, and I mean push yourself. So when you've pushed yourself quite a bit and you're thinking, I'm knackered now, I'm bollocksed, I'm done. I think I've reached my limit. You've got to have that mindset where you think, yeah, I think I've reached my limit, and then do it for another minute, just another minute, and then time yourself each day. Add another minute, just a minute. That's all. And then each day, another minute. Just push yourself past that point. Get that second wind. Sweat. Make yourself sweat. knacker yourself out. And I'm telling you, the endorphins that are released are phenomenal. Do, 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 do. They really are. And this is real and free. Now, I definitely know of at least one person that I won't name, that I've never met, that's took that kind of that advice on board, and she's benefiting from it, because you can't not. It's impossible. Just those two things. So yeah, I hope you've all had going back to solar. So right, I'm more equipped at home where I've got power than I am here where I've got none. Which is something I need to sort out. So I've got 3 solar panels. 2 of those solar panels was a briefcase originally, a briefcase solar system. Most of you all know what that is. But then I decided to separate it from the solar controller that was built onto that and split it off, so it become 2 separate independent solar panels. So 2 times 40 instead of an 80 watt panel. Connected them up to 2 separate solar controllers, and then to 2 leisure batteries. And then the main auxiliary leisure battery was powered by a separate 50 watt solar panel. And this is the first time I've come here where I've not had those little kind of indicators on the solar controllers that all of the batteries are on full blast and you're good to go. All 3 of them were dead. So that's the first time. I think it's a case of having to replace them, which is expensive. You're looking at 150 quid for a middle of the range leisure battery, and I need 3 because one's not enough. Having said that, tonight, because I've kind of run out of data, because I should be, so I know that I need to deal with the solar setup in this van, do a little bit of problem solving, because I'm sure that they're not all knackered. I think it may be the connections, or I don't know. I'll look into it. But it was a nice opportunity, really, for me to not bother with any electronics. But the first half of me being here, I just couldn't unplug. I need to stay informed. I feel it's a really unhealthy addiction to stay informed. So getting an indicator on my phone saying that I've used up nearly all of my roaming data, mobile data, has made me sit and chill and just listen to music and flick through a few books and think. Sometimes we need to just force our way away from tech just for a little while. Who would have guessed we would have been in a world where 90% of people would probably turn around and answer a question like, when you leave a house, what's the first thing you try to remember? And it'll be my phone. More addictive than heroin and crack cocaine combined. But because there are no obvious physical withdrawal symptoms, nobody notices and nobody thinks about it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So yeah, just, you know, take breaks, and yeah, work on your fitness. Honestly, just push yourself. I did put, I can't remember. It was someone else's video, and I was looking into the comments section and having a bit of a read, and this may offend a few people, but it's not intended to. It's not. Pretty much most, if not all, of my content is to try and inspire and encourage, you know, not pull you down. So yeah, I left a comment saying that I can't think of a single genuine reason why obesity can exist, because I think everyone can do something to reduce that, so that a fit and healthy size for their age and their height or whatever, you know. I don't think there's ever an excuse for obesity. And I know that, you know, there's going to be a chunk of you a chunk. Do apologise. This is not intended to offend. If you can work on your fitness, it will lift your mood. And if you lift your mood, you'll continue to go down the fitness path, because you'll start to feel the benefits from it. You will. I guarantee it. I promise you. And the more effort you put in, the better you feel. Now, I'm not a fanatic, you know. I'm no athlete. Although I don't know, you know, maybe I am in some ways. It's all about pushing yourself. And if you can do that physically, it makes it easier to do that mentally. And that's crucial. It is right now, you know. But I also know, I'm aware that I sometimes keep repeating certain things like pushing fitness, but I don't actually think I do push that often, that often. So I sound like a broken record, you know, because I don't want to sound like that. But I just can't. I can't. It's such an important aspect moving forward that I know you'll all benefit from. I know you will. But then again, to that group of people out there that are kind of, that I've said I can count on both hands and maybe more. It's tough to kind of make that first step, you know, of motivating yourself, because when you feel like the world is kind of caving in on you, and please believe me, I understand how that feels. So you've got, even though it's hypothetical, you've got all of that added weight bearing down on you, which just zaps your energy. It does. But you've got to try and break free from that because otherwise it'll just be a downward spiral, and you don't want that, and we don't want that, and I don't want that. So yeah, those two things, just take those two things into account, and I promise you you'll benefit from it, and you'll only rise, instead of float. Yeah, I feel like I'm rambling now. So what we on? 20 minutes. Can I take this any further without just kind of regurgitating the same thing over and over again? But I only do that because I know you will benefit and prosper from it, which is important. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. I think I'll leave it there. Just glad I came here, and just the whole unplugging thing, because I don't want to go over my mobile data. I don't want to go over that. They get enough money out of us as it is. Which kind of I've been put because of the leisure batteries being dead. I've just been surrounded by candlelight and music, and a cut off, apart from doing this video, from all social media, and it's invigorating. It's like, when you stopped watching mainstream TV and cancelled your TV license, as time went by, you realised how free you'd just become, just off the back of that. It was like you just unhooked yourself from absolute bollocks and hardcore propaganda, because you started to search for your own information, which is there's a lot of very lazy people out there that just kind of gobble up any old bollocks that, that just reminded me of Cecil. That wasn't planned. It didn't happen. I just want to clarify that as well. So yeah, it's just been away from everything, and then I feel guilty for saying stuff like this, because I was going to then go on to say that at night, when everything's off, all you can hear is the river behind the caravan, just the river, and when it's a bit breezy, you can hear the trees, and owls. It's just total peace. It's complete and total tranquility. But then I feel bad for saying that, because I know that I'm lucky to have this, and most people, a lot of people, have just got their own home. So yeah, it makes me feel like I'm gloating, and I'm not like that. So make your home, focus on making your home as much of a sanctuary as you possibly can, because that's important moving forward. So on that note, I'm going to finish the rest of this vodka. I might pour another one. I'm on holiday, as me and Sal used to say. And then, yeah, just get my head down. But, yeah, put some effort in to do those two things and find peace. and it will make whatever's coming our way a lot easier to digest and deal with, and we will deal with it. Much love, and ciao for now.